Today, we're going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Not the movie that's coming, well, we'll be talking about that a little bit, but we're really going to be talking about the original Sonic 3. Maybe a little in conjunction with the new movie that's coming out December 20th. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is being released in the movie theater in like 2 weeks on December 20th. But the real thing that we're here to talk about is the original Sonic 3. Now, this game right out of the bag was a banger. All of these games, the Sonic trilogy, Sonic 1, 2, and 3, all absolute incredible games, bangers as the kids would say. As you can see here, it revolutionized this kind of 3D approach for the special levels, which I always thought was really cool. And you can see that influence in a lot of future games. This game out of the bag, it just had so many awesome things to it, just right out of the shell. You get to, once again, you got Tails like you had in Sonic 2, but now we got a new villain in this one, Knuckles. Now, Knuckles in the movie, I believe he was in the Sonic 2 movie, which now, from what I can see from the trailers, it looks like Knuckles is more of Sonic's friend now in this new Sonic 3, so I don't know if the games necessarily line up with the movies, but I'm definitely going to go see the movie and see how many similarities are from each game compared to the movies. I've seen the first two Sonic movies, so there's a lot of cool Easter eggs in those movies, especially from Sonic 2. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how much of this Sonic 3 universe ends up in the movie. People still play these games to this day. They're showing their kids these games before they show them any other games on the newer systems, because they want to get them started early on the classics that are, you know, the ones that we learned how to play on. With keeping tradition of what I've been doing on these videos, we've been looking at Nintendo Power for each game. Now, this is a SEGA game. I do believe SEGA did have a SEGA Power, or somebody made a SEGA Power. I don't know if it was official, but there are articles from some magazines. Here's a couple pictures from some PDFs that I found running previews to Sonic 3. I never thought that SEGA had a good competitor to Nintendo Power. I always felt like they needed that, and especially back in those days, things were still all analog. Everybody was reading magazines. SEGA really should have had a dedicated one. I think they had it, SEGA Power, but it just wasn't, it didn't pop like Nintendo Power. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, but you know, we'll get back into that. Anyways, this game comes on the heels of one of the most popular games of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I played so much Sonic 2, all I cared about was getting to the casino level and playing the casino thing over and over again. And so I really wanted there to be another casino level in this game. I was disappointed that there wasn't. I think there's some sort of casino actually in Sonic and Knuckles. So one of the coolest things about Sonic 3 is Sonic and Knuckles, which is an add-on that came out after Sonic 3 that you could attach to the game and play as Knuckles. And you also got to go to different levels. There was a few different levels that you got to go to that were new. And it did allow you to beat the game in different paths than normally just as Sonic and Tails. So that was pretty cool. You also were able to play it on the other previous Sonic games. I think you were just able to be Knuckles in that. They didn't really manipulate the game in any way. But just an absolute cool run of events with these games leading up to Sonic and Knuckles. Really excited to see the movie and see how that all plays out and see how Knuckles interacts with Sonic, and like I said, see how it is similar. Now, we can't talk about Sonic 3 and not talk about the music in this game. From what I understand, there was a lot of controversy around the music getting made in this game. You're gonna have to look into that a little bit more yourself, but from what I do know, Michael Jackson was tapped to write a lot of the songs for this game. It ended up not working out with Michael Jackson for some reason or another. And that then sent them into working with a new composer for the game. So much history here with this series. This definitely wrapped up the trilogy on the SEGA Genesis system, and then after that it was bringing it to the Saturn, and then bringing it to, because you had Sonic CD, which came out on Sega CD, which was an attachment for the Genesis. But then the one that I really remember was the Sonic that came out for the Dreamcast. But that's when it first got brought into 3D, like, wow. The Sonic for the Dreamcast was incredible. This game will forever be loved by the people that play it. Like I said, they still play it to this day. They're showing their kids. As the launch-in title for the Genesis, this trilogy of games carried the legacy of the Genesis all the way to the home base. I believe that billions of dollars were made off from this little blue hedgehog right here. Fun fact, my uncle owned a TV station when I was a kid, and they had Sonic the Hedgehog, the TV show, the animation show. We had a Sonic costume and other costumes, and I got to play Sonic. I got to wear the Sonic suit. It was a whole thing. I think that what ended up happening is I didn't fit in it that well, and so one of my cousins ended up wearing it because he fit better or something, but faded memories. But there was a Sonic suit involved. Now, anyways, with that being said, I just want to thank everybody who's been watching this series so far. I really appreciate it. It's starting to pick up a little steam, and I've gotten some really nice comments, so any comment that you leave, I'll probably reply to, and I just appreciate very much. So with that being said, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe, ring that bell, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe.